I hope you brought a poncho, because it's about to get wet. I want to tell you about the most famous cryptid in Ohio, the Loveland Frog. The Loveland Frogmen have been sighted in Loveland, Ohio several times over the past 6 decades. The first time they were spotted was in 1955 by a traveling salesman. He was driving down an unnamed road late one summer night, and as he crossed a poorly lit bridge over the Little Miami River, he was stopped in his tracks as he approached 3 bipedal amphibious figures. He described them as hairless, frog-like creatures, and he noticed that they seemed to be in the middle of a conversation. He had observed that they were roughly 3.5 feet tall, with webbed hands and leathery skin. Their eyes bulged out of their heads, and their mouths were wide as they spoke to one another. As one of the frogmen took notice of the merchant, it waved a wand above its head, and a spray of sparks showered the dimly lit street as the man rushed to speed away. "You already had me at Frogman, but you kept me with Magic Frogman." He hopped along to the police station, but upon their return, the frog people were gone, and all that was left was the scent of almonds and alfalfa. The next recorded sighting was in 1972. A police officer named Ray Shockey was driving along the Little Miami River one cold night in early March. It was past midnight when a creature with bright glowing eyes bolted across the road in front of the police car. Officer Shockey was stunned to see that it was a creature that was around 3 to 4 feet tall, with frog-like features, just like the merchant had seen so many years ago. The officer hesitated, and the frogman rushed on its hind legs to hop across the guardrail and escape into the icy waters of the river. All that it had left behind were notable scratches on the guardrail in its rush to escape. Only a couple of weeks later, another officer named Mark Matthews was patrolling in the same area. He had spotted a large animal, which scrambled in an effort to escape. The officer reported to superiors that he saw a large, frog-like creature standing on its hind legs. However, Officer Matthews now claims that he shot the creature and retrieved its body, which he identified as an iguana. Matthews didn't come forward with this information until several years later. There's a little controversy here, as some people claim that it was a cover-up to keep the folks of Loveland from panicking about the oversized amphibian on the loose. I don't want to hop to any conclusions, but it's a bit suspicious to me. But that isn't where this story ends. The most recent recorded sighting was in 2016 when a man named Sam Jacobs was playing Pokemon Go and walking along Lake Isabella. He spotted a, quote, huge frog near the water that stood up and walked on its hind legs. He said it was unlike anything he'd ever seen before. It was an experience that he will not soon forget. So, over the span of nearly 70 years, the bizarre creatures were seen by a salesman, 2 police officers, and a boy playing Pokemon, and countless other unrecorded first-hand encounters. The tale of the Loveland Frog remains woven into Ohio folklore, and many have claimed to see its glowing eyes along the river. What would you do if you encountered the frogmen?